Commenting and review was one of the very first applications for which PDF documents were used. The PDF file is an ideal method for all types of review cycles. It allows you to freeze a document in a specific state and then collect comments from multiple users quickly and efficiently. When you complete this chapter, you'll know how to add all types of comments and markup to your PDF documents. You'll also be able to distribute your PDF files by email or via Acrobat.com to collect comments from others. Acrobat allows you to add comments to your file using both text and drawing markup. Depending on your workflow, you'll probably use the text markup more frequently. Open the file, Text Comments from the Chapter 8 folder. If you're an experienced user of Acrobat, you'll probably see some dramatic differences between Acrobat 10 and previous versions of the program. For example, gone is a familiar comments and markup toolbar. At first, the only familiar things you'll see are the Sticky Note tool and the Highlight Text tool. But don't worry, all the tools are still there. They're just hiding in a new home inside the Comment task pane. To access the text markup tools, click Comment and open the Annotations panel. Before we add any comments to this page, let's zoom in to get a better look. Adding comments is a straightforward process. To insert a sticky note, just click the tool, position your cursor over the page, and click. A window will open where you can enter your comments. When you're done typing, the window will stay open by default unless you press the Escape key, like this. To reposition a sticky note, just click on it and move it. Whenever you click on a sticky note, the comment window will reopen. You can also close the comment window by clicking this icon. Notice how Acrobat identifies the comment with your name. By default, Acrobat uses your login name. If this is not the name you'd like to use, you can edit it by changing your preference settings. Click Edit Preferences in Windows or Acrobat Preferences on the Macintosh. Choose the commenting category and uncheck this option, which causes Acrobat to default to your login name. Then select Identity. Enter the name you'd like to use into this field. Click OK to apply your changes. To modify the name in the existing sticky note, right-click on the note and select Properties. Click on the General tab and enter your name in the Author field. Click Make Properties Default and then click OK. The next time you insert a sticky note, Acrobat will use the name you specified. If you're not familiar with the other commenting tools, position your mouse over each icon, and Acrobat will display a tooltip identifying it by name. The Highlight Text tool does exactly what you'd expect. It highlights text as you would with a highlighter marker. To highlight some text, click the tool, and then swipe over the desired text and release the mouse. Unlike the Sticky Note tool, the Highlight Text tool is a persistent tool. It remains selected until you choose another tool. That allows you to highlight several words or paragraphs in a row. The next tool in the panel allows you to attach an external file. This is useful when you want to include a source file that will be needed for a specific correction. For example, someone used the wrong image in this layout. Click on the image to access your hard drive and select the JPEG file in the Chapter 8 folder. Click Open and then click OK to apply your changes. Later you can access the file by double-clicking on the paperclip icon. If you have a microphone attached or built into your computer, you can use this tool to record audio notes. This tool allows you to add graphical stamps to your document. You can select from a list of existing stamps, or you can create your own from a PDF or standard graphic file by using this option. By far, the most useful tools are the text markup tools. The first tool allows you to insert text. Like all the text markup tools, it can be used in two different ways. You can select the tool in advance, like this, and then click it in the text at the point you want to insert a new copy. Or, you can click in the text first using the normal text selection tool, and then click the Insert tool. The Replace tool allows you to mark text for replacement. As with the Insert tool, you can select the tool first, like this, and then highlight the desired text you wish to replace. Or you can select the desired text first, and then click the tool. Some of the text markup tools can be accessed by right-clicking on the selection. Or by pressing a shortcut key. The strike-through tool is a tool used to mark up text for deletion. But you don't need to select this tool to use it. Simply select the text you wish to eliminate and press the delete key. The underlining tool can be used for a variety of purposes. Some use it to highlight text they want to format in certain ways, say in boldface or italics. But you can just as easily create your own purposes for it. The last tool in the panel allows you to add pop-up notes to your markup. Like the other tools, you can click on this tool like this to apply it, and then double-click on a markup. Or you can select the markup first, and then click the tool to open a comment window. But you don't really need to use this tool at all, because all the markup elements in Acrobat allow you to automatically open a pop-up window by simply double-clicking on them, like this. You may have noticed that each type of markup is displayed with the default color and formatting. The color allows you to quickly see the markup and to identify its purpose. But you may want to use the colors in a different way, depending on your workflow. Some companies assign colors to specific departments or to specific users. This allows you to identify the individual user quickly. To change the colors for your markup, you can right-click on an item and choose Properties. If necessary, click on the Appearance tab. You can choose the color by clicking this icon. You can set the opacity here. You can make these properties default by clicking this option. Click OK to apply your changes. Before I save a file, I like to review the comments I've made in the document. Open the Comments List panel, where you can see all your current markup. If you click on a comment in the panel, Acrobat will navigate to it and highlight the specific markup in the document window. You can edit the comment here if necessary, or delete it. To delete a comment, just press the Delete key. You can also delete a comment in the document window by selecting it and pressing the Delete key as well. In an upcoming lesson, we'll explore a variety of ways to work with the comments list. In a full version of Acrobat, when you save a file, any comments are automatically saved in the file too. Later in this chapter, I'll show you how to enable documents so they can be reviewed by Acrobat Reader as well. Using Acrobat in a review cycle can save time and money, and not to mention a few trees. In this lesson, we'll explore the use of the drawing markup tools in Acrobat. Open the file, Drawing Markup, from the Chapter 8 folder. When the file opens, you'll notice that it already includes some text markups made by other reviewers. Text and drawing markups are not exclusive in a review cycle. Drawing markup is used in conjunction with text markup. While the text markup tools are used to identify text changes, drawing markup is typically used to identify changes to graphical elements or page layouts. To access the drawing markup tools, click Comment and open the Drawing Markups panel. The drawing markup tools are pretty straightforward. Unlike the text markup tools, none of them have a designated purpose or role in a review cycle. You can pretty much use them any way you please. For example, I use the text box tool to add longer comments or to provide additional copy or replacement text. The text callout tool is handy when you need to target a comment in a tight layout. Click at the point you wish to make the comment, and then drag out the callout box to an area of the page where you can leave the comment where it doesn't interfere with text or graphics or other comments on the page. It takes some practice to learn all the behaviors of the callout box. You may get frustrated if you try to pick up and reposition this box. The secret to working with the callout box is going back into the tool panel and selecting the tool again to be able to reposition this box. Once it's selected, you can reposition it, adjust its size, or change how the callout arrow works. You can even reposition the target arrow. The line tool allows you to add straight or diagonal lines to your layout. Hold the Shift key to keep the line straight or at a 45-degree angle. To reposition the line tool, simply click on it. You can pick it up and move it, or change its length. If you want to keep it straight, continue holding the Shift key. But what does this line mean? Is it obvious to you what I meant by it? Many users agree that drawing markup doesn't mean anything by itself, so they usually combine it with sticky notes and other text markup, but that's not necessary. Just as with text markups, you can add a pop-up comment on each drawing markup. To open a pop-up window, simply double-click on the markup. That way you can add a comment or instruction directly to the markup. To draw an arrow, click on the tool and aim at the target of your arrow first. When you click and draw backwards, you'll draw the body of the arrow. To keep the line straight, hold the Shift key. As with the line markup, you can double-click on the arrow to add a pop-up note. By now you probably guessed how the oval and the rectangle tools work. To draw an oval, select the tool, position it in the page, and then drag your mouse, and draw. Hold the Shift key to create a perfect circle. Simply click on it to reposition it or resize the oval. If you want to close the pop-up window, you can press the Escape key when you're done typing, like this. Likewise, the rectangle tool works identically to the oval tool. Simply draw a rectangle, hold the Shift key to create a perfect square. Click on the markup to resize it or to reposition it. You can also close a pop-up window by clicking this icon. One of the funkier tools is the Cloud tool. It allows you to draw kind of a thought bubble around an area of your page. As you draw, click to create corners. To close the cloud, return to the place where you started. You may notice this black rectangle indicating the beginning of the cloud. The Polygon tool is similar to the Cloud tool. Just click to create corners and return back to the beginning to close it. The Connected Lines tool is like the Polygon tool, but it doesn't require you to close the shape. Just click to create several segments, and then double-click to end it. I like to call the Freeform tool the John Madden tool. The Freeform tool allows you to draw any shape or series of shapes freehand. Depending on how you draw them, you may have a single complex object at the end or several smaller shapes. You can use the Eraser tool to edit the resulting elements. But the Eraser tool only works on the Freeform tool. By default, all the drawing markups are red in color. To change the color of the specific markup, Select any of the tools besides the eraser tool. Select the markup and right-click on it, then choose Properties. Click the Appearance tab if necessary. You can choose the line style from this menu. You can choose the color here and the opacity of the markup here. I usually like to make the markup a little thicker so that it's more noticeable on the page. You can also add a fill color. Whenever I add a fill color, I always reduce the opacity of my markup so that it doesn't obscure any elements on the page. To make the properties default, click this option, and when you're ready to apply the changes, click OK. Before you save the file, you may want to review the comments you've made in the document. The comments for drawing markup tools work the same way as they did for text commenting tools, which we saw in the previous lesson. Open the comments list to review your entries. If you click on a comment on the panel, it will navigate to and highlight the specific markup in the document. To delete a comment, just press the Delete key. You can also delete a comment in the document window by selecting it and pressing Delete as well. In the next lesson, we'll explore a variety of ways to work with the comments list. When you conduct a PDF comment and review cycle, it can be kind of intimidating the first time you open a file full of comments from multiple reviewers. In this lesson, I'll give you some tips on how to take control of the process. Open the file, Review Comments from the Chapter 8 folder. This file contains text and drawing comments from several co-workers. You could try to look at each markup individually, but I guarantee that if you try to do this manually, you'll miss some important note or change. Instead, you should click Comment and open the Comments List panel. In this panel, each comment, no matter how small or insignificant, is given a separate entry in the list. The panel has its own search window to help you search through the comments. You can also sort the comments by type, page, author, date, and checkmark status, as well as by the status of the individual person. You can also filter the data by type, reviewer, as well as status. In the menu, you can expand, collapse, print, create a summary, import data, or export the selected or all the data to a data file. You can even export the data to Word or even to AutoCAD. Select this option to access Acrobat's commenting preferences. To locate an item on the page, just click the item in the list. Acrobat will jump to the item and highlight it automatically in the document. Likewise, if you want to find the list item that corresponds to an item on the page, just click on the markup, and Acrobat will highlight the list item. As you go through each item in the list, it can get confusing over which item you reviewed and which you may have missed. To help you keep your place, Acrobat provides this checkbox that you can click. It doesn't mean anything, but it allows you to keep track of where you are in the review cycle. If your job is to review each item and decide whether the item is valid or needs to be ignored, Acrobat provides a tool for you too. Just right-click on the item and choose Set Status. Here you can apply one of 5 states: accepted, canceled, completed, or rejected. The default status is none. Occasionally you may need to add a comment to a comment. In that case, right-click on the item and click Reply. Acrobat will add your comment to the list and apply your default login name to it. If the login name is not the name you want, you'll have to edit your Acrobat preferences as we showed you in Lesson 1 of this chapter. If you want to edit the properties on the current item, you can right-click on it and choose Properties. You can enter your name in the Author field. Click OK to apply the changes. To delete a reply, right-click on the reply and choose Delete. To delete an entire item, select the item and press Delete on your keyboard. When you save your file, Acrobat will save all the comments in their current states. When you reopen the file, it should appear as you left it. The best advice I can give you is to take your time and use all the features we just explored to get the best results from your comment and review cycle. In this lesson, we'll explore the methods for creating a comment and review workflow with 2 or more people. Open the file, Shared Comments, from the Chapter 8 folder. Click Comment and open the Review panel. Acrobat provides 3 methods for sharing documents in a review process. You can share a file using Acrobat.com or your local server. You can send a file by email, or you can collaborate live with 1 or more users. If you have an Acrobat.com account, click Send for Shared Review. Acrobat.com offers a suite of online services that include online file storage, web conferencing, online collaboration, as well as a place to host your Acrobat shared reviews. You can set up a free account to try out all the services. All you need to set it up is a valid email address and access to the internet. Using Acrobat.com to host your shared documents online has several advantages over other methods. For one thing, you don't have to worry about the file size limits or firewall filters of certain email services. Acrobat.com takes care of notifying your recipients and tracking their responses automatically. And it doesn't even require the user to have a full version of Acrobat to use the service. All they have to do is download the free Adobe Reader. If you have an Acrobat.com account, you may need to configure a few Acrobat preference settings before you try to share a document. Click Cancel and choose Edit Preferences in Windows or Acrobat Preferences on the Macintosh. Select the identity category. Acrobat uses this name when it sends out the notices to your recipients. Check your name and the default email address. Make any changes here that you need to. Then click Online Services. Enter your Acrobat.com username here. Acrobat will prompt you later for the password. Click OK to apply your changes. To share this document on Acrobat.com, click Comments, open the Review panel, and click Send for Shared Review again. Let's choose Automatically using Acrobat.com. Click Next. Acrobat may prompt you for your username and password. Go ahead and enter them and click Sign In. If you don't want to stay signed in automatically, uncheck this box. In this dialog box, enter the email addresses of the people you want to share the file with. In some cases, you may be able to access your address book by clicking the To button. For this lesson, I've created 4 test recipients and configured my email program to collect the emails sent to student 1. You should add your own recipients here. I can select all 4 by holding the Shift key, clicking the To button, and then clicking OK to add them to my mailing list. Acrobat will automatically send a copy of the message to your default email address. Feel free to add your own subject and message to the appropriate fields. Later, you can reset the default message by clicking this option. At the bottom of the email message, make sure you select whether you want to limit access to the specified recipients or whether you want the form to be available to anybody. Let's limit access. When you click Send, several things happen at once. Acrobat creates a copy of your original file, adding the word Review to its file name. It enables the file so that users of Acrobat Reader can add comments. It uploads the file to the server and then sends out a notice to each recipient with a hyperlink to the PDF file online. If you want to open the tracker interface, click this option. In this interface, you can keep an eye on the progress of your review. Most importantly, at the bottom of the window, you can see a list of the recipients and how many have responded so far. If you want to see how the shared review works on Acrobat.com, launch your email application, and check your inbox. You should have an email that contains a link to the file on Acrobat.com. Go ahead and click it to open it in a browser window. It may require you to log in. To participate in the review, each user must have their own Acrobat.com account and a copy of Acrobat or Adobe Reader. In a second, you should see an option to download or open the document. If you download it, you can fill it in later when you're offline. Let's click Open. The review process is totally collaborative. You will see a list of all the reviewers and their contact information, and you'll be able to see their comments, although you'll not be able to edit or delete them. When you're ready to add your own comments, click OK. When the PDF file finally opens, you can add text and drawing markup as you would in a normal document on your own hard drive. When you're done, you can click Publish Comments at the top of the document window. You can click this button to check for comments published by other users. After you publish your comments, exit the browser. Let's add a rectangle on this bottle of wine and add a comment that says it's the wrong picture. When you're ready, click Publish Comments. You should get a report that your comment was published successfully. After you publish your comments, go ahead and exit the browser. Switch back to Acrobat. As you can see, Acrobat is reporting that one new comment was received. Click to accept it. Instantaneously, Acrobat has added that comment to your page. If you don't have an Acrobat.com account, or your company policies prevent you from using one, you can also share a document by email. All in all, the process is very similar. Close the document that you currently have open. Go ahead and save the changes and open the file Email Comments from the Chapter 8 folder. Before we send out this file by email, let's save it under a different name so we can preserve the original file. Select File, Save As, PDF, and let's name it My Email Comments. Save it in the Chapter 8 folder. If necessary, click Comment and open the Review panel again. Click Send for Email Review. When the dialog box opens, Acrobat prompts you to select a file for the email review. It assumes you want to send the currently open document, but you don't have to. You can click Browse now and select another file from the hard drive. Click Next. In this dialog box, you need to add the email addresses for the people you want to share the file with. Depending on what email app you're using, you may be able to access your address book by clicking this button. I've created 4 generic names to send my file to. You should select your own names. Once they're selected, click To and OK to add them to your mailing list. When you're ready, click Next. As with Acrobat.com, you can use the default message or add one of your own. When you're ready, click Send Invitation. A dialog box appears explaining that Acrobat created a message and sent it to your default email app. The message will be sent out automatically the next time you launch the program or the next time it sends email. Click OK. If you don't use a built-in email program like Outlook or Apple Mail, you'll have to send out the file to your mailing list manually. Then the next time your recipient launches their email application, they will receive a PDF file as an attachment, like this one. Then all they have to do is double-click on it to open it up, like this, make their comments, and click this button to send their comments back to you by email. Sharing files by email requires a lot more effort by you and your recipients. While you can share your documents by email and host them on your local network, as you can see, nothing beats Acrobat.com for sheer power and convenience. In the next lesson, I'll show you how to use the tracker interface to compile and manage the comments automatically using Acrobat.com as well as manually by email. To get the most from the following exercise, you should first complete the lessons on both shared and email-based reviews earlier in this chapter, or just sit back and watch. Tracking reviews is very similar to the process of tracking forms. As with forms, the comment and review process uses Acrobat's tracker interface to manage both online shared reviews as well as email-based reviews. In Windows, you can directly access the tracker either from Tools in the Forms panel or under Comment in the Review panel. Unfortunately, Mac users won't be able to access these tasks panes until they open a document. So let's open the file Shared Comments Review from the Chapter 8 folder. This is the file we sent out earlier for the online review, hosted on Acrobat.com. Whenever you open a file that's being used in an active review process, this window may open. It shows a list of the reviewers we invited to participate, as well as any responses that they may have already made. Click OK to access the document. Acrobat automatically downloads the comments by your reviewers and displays them within the document window. To access the Tracker interface, click Track Reviews in the Review panel. When the Tracker interface opens, it will show you a list of any forms you've distributed, as well as all the documents you've sent out for review. Documents hosted by Acrobat.com will have the word Review appended to the file name. To manage a specific document, click on its name in the list. The Tracker interface provides loads of information about your document, including the locations of the master comment file, whether the review is active or not, and the date it was sent out. And if you use Acrobat to send out the email notifications, it will also show you a list of the recipients and their email addresses. The Tracker also allows you to add new reviewers, as well as to automatically send out email to your existing reviewers. This is handy if you need to remind them to complete the review. If you're using Acrobat.com, the Tracker interface offers even more info and capabilities. For example, you can see what the document's access level is, as well as the deadline you set for it. This option allows you to change the deadline, and you can click this option to end the review altogether. In both cases, you can see the comments submitted by clicking View Comments at the top of the Tracker window. In the case of an online review, Acrobat will open your master comments file and then log into your Acrobat.com account. Comments will be downloaded automatically, compiled, and then displayed in the file as you saw earlier. Here you see one of my reviewers has left 11 comments. If you're conducting an email-based review like this one, you can send out the review yourself, or you can use Acrobat. If you use Acrobat, the Tracker interface will show you a list of the reviewers and their email addresses. In this case, the responses will be sent back to you as an attachment to an email. To compile the comments, launch your email application and access your inbox. When you find an email with comments attached, double-click on it to open the file. Acrobat should recognize that this file belongs to your review and prompt you to add the comments to your master file. Click OK to complete the merge. If you send out a PDF file for review without using either of these methods, you can still compile the comments by importing them manually. I show you how to both export and import comments later in this chapter. Whether you use Acrobat.com or email, conducting a document review has never been easier or more powerful, and Acrobat provides the tools and capabilities to make it both a fast and pain-free process. By default, users of Adobe Reader are limited to what they can do. For example, they can't add most types of text or drawing markup to a normal PDF file. But if you have a full version of Acrobat, you can enable your PDF files to allow users of Reader to perform several tasks that normally only can be done in Acrobat itself. If you have it installed, go ahead and launch Acrobat Reader. Open the file, Reader Comments, from the Chapter 8 folder. This PDF file is identical to the one we used earlier in this chapter to add text and drawing markup. As you can see, users of Adobe Reader are allowed to open the file and have access to the sticky note and the highlight text tool. If you click Comment and open the Annotations panel, you won't see all the other text or drawing markup tools. Close this file. Switch back to Acrobat and open the file Reader Comments from the Chapter 8 folder. If you click Comment and open the Annotations panel and Drawing Markups, you'll see that all the markup tools are both visible and selectable. To enable this file for Adobe Reader, select File, Save As, Reader Extended PDF, and choose Enable Commenting and Measuring. Certain functions of your file won't work after you've enabled it for Reader, so it's a good idea to save the file under a different name so that you can go back and edit the original file if necessary. Let's name the file Reader Comments Enabled.pdf and save it in the Chapter 8 folder. When Acrobat is done saving it, go ahead and close the file. Switch back to Reader and open the enabled file. If necessary, click to open Comment and open the Annotations panel. Notice that all the markup tools are now available and selectable. Notice how even the Drawing Markup panel is now visible. It was totally missing before. When you upload a file for commenting and review using Acrobat.com, your PDF files are automatically enabled for Adobe Reader. But it's nice to know that you can do it yourself right inside of Acrobat. In some workflows, you may be working with PDF files that could be many megabytes in size. It'll be difficult, if not impossible, to email these types of files back and forth for a review cycle. But there's no need to. Acrobat allows you to export all the comments and markup in your document to an FDF file that may only be a few kilobytes in size. Open the file, export comments.pdf from the Chapter 8 folder. This file contains the comments and markups from several coworkers. You need to send these comments to the design firm so they can make the changes to the brochure. Let's pretend the PDF file is too big to email. In this lesson, you'll learn how to export the comments from one PDF document and then how to import the comments into another. Click Comment and open the Comments List panel. Click the menu and click Export All to Data File. Name the file My Data and save it to the Chapter 8 folder. Acrobat will automatically add the FDF extension for you. When the comments have been exported, close the file. Now open the file, import comments.pdf from the Chapter 8 folder. This is the original PDF file, which has no comments in it. You'll notice that not only the document window is empty, but so is the comments list. Acrobat can import comments that were made in a similar file and then insert the markup as it appeared in the other file. If necessary, click Comments and open the comment list. Select the menu and choose Import Data File. Navigate to the Chapter 8 folder and select mydata.fdf and click Open. Acrobat may warn you that the comments came from a different version of this file, but we can go ahead and say yes. Acrobat will then import the comments and place them in the exact locations they were in the original file. It's almost magic. Being able to share data files like this can make the task of working with large PDF files much easier. For your next review cycle, there's no need to email or FTP multi-megabyte files more than once. Thanks for watching Total Training for Adobe Acrobat 10 Pro Essentials. I hope you've had as much fun learning about Acrobat 10 as I've had creating this series. To stay up to speed in all things Acrobat, keep an eye on our blog on creativeassociate.net. And don't hesitate to check out all the training available on TotalTraining.com. We have titles covering all aspects of computer-based software and application. Thanks again for watching.